Pleased to bring in right now Missouri Congressman who serves as the chairman of the very important House Ways and Means Committee, Jason Smith. Congressman Smith, a pleasure to have you today.
It's great to be with you.
You know, it's while we watch sort of the movements here, whether it be the outward comments, the inward comments, it does look like Joe Biden's days could be numbered. Does this NATO news conference today at 5:30 shift the calculus? Does the Kamala survey shift the calculus at all?
I don't believe so at all. You know, and all of these Democrat members of Congress in the Senate and the elite Hollywood actors who have been hiding Biden's condition for the last 3.5 years, the fact that they don't think he can win, that's why they've been throwing him under the bus. What the American people saw 2 weeks ago at the debate is exactly what House Republicans have been saying since he's been elected. The same Joe Biden that was elected in 2020 is the same Joe Biden of today. It's just the media and the politicians and elite Hollywood donors have been hiding it.
Yeah, and then you have all the voters in the primaries who voted for him, and then, as you say, you swap him out, so their vote just taken away from them as well. It's an interesting thread that Donald Trump will be able to pick up and capitalize on, Chairman.
Well, you know, the Democrats are the ones who always says they want to save the democracy, and they say Republicans is against the democracy. Well, guess what? Just watching the last 2 weeks, you are seeing Democrat elected officials wanting to discard 14 million American Democrat primary votes that spoke loud and clear that they wanted Joe Biden to be their primary. But now that these woke elitists think that they know better than the American people who they picked as their nomination, give me a break. The Democrat Party is just out to lunch.
Yeah, and maybe it's power at all costs. You've seen it firsthand with the work you've done with those IRS whistleblowers, uncovering things that if the House didn't have control, we would have never learned. I do want to talk a moment about what Chairman Comer's doing now. Of course, you know, who knows where it will go because, well, Merrick Garland, there's the ultimate gatekeeper. But this was what he told us here on Newsmax about what did they know, when did they know it, and what he is demanding now, because he does believe there has been a very intense cover-up here of Joe Biden's health.
Well, I think it could be a bigger cover-up than Watergate, because have these three no-name employees, have they been operating a shadow government? Have they been privy to classified information? Do they have national security clearance? Have they been ordering the cabinet secretaries to do various job duties? We want to know this.
Americans need to know this, Congressman. I mean, full stop.
I've said all along for the last several years that President Biden didn't know how to turn on the lights in the White House. So there's actually been a de facto president out there, whether it's Hunter Biden, his son, whether it's Jill Biden, his wife, whether it's former President Obama. Someone is pulling the strings because clearly the gentleman who was elected in 2020 has not been able to do it. He hasn't done it for the last 3.5 years. That's why you've seen these policies that have destroyed working families. Inflation's gone up 20%. The southern border is running rampant. Crime is crazy throughout our cities because of his policies that he's been unleashing.
You're right. And those her tapes that they are refusing, they're sitting on them without the right to sit on them. There's no executive privilege. There's no worry about AI. They released the transcripts here. Do you think perhaps maybe it really is behind the scenes, whether it be, you know, Obama now, if he won't go willingly, that they drop those Robert Hur tapes to really make it a final move here, just to put the emphasis on how compromised Joe Biden's mental acuity is, Congressman?
I wouldn't put anything past the Democrat parties when they have the fear of losing command and control of the lives of Americans, because they love to command and control all Americans' behavior. They also think they can control elections and control candidates. So I'd say anything is at their hands.
I just want to play a little bit. of Chris Coons on CNN, because we know there are some outwardly facing still trying to do some cleanup on aisle 9 here for Joe Biden's debate performance, and looking forward to a few hours the NATO stage awaits.
Look, I don't think we should set the stakes too high. I think we should be looking at how he's doing at the event today with the AFL-CIO, speaking to, obviously, a supportive group. They endorsed him, but unscripted, no teleprompters. I hope he does well.
Let's not set the bar too high for the American president. I don't care if you're left or right. If you are hearing that and not getting alarms, I don't know. We love our nation too much just to hear things like that. Why should we set the bar low? In what world? Kamala, does she set the bar any higher too? I mean, their bench there is incredibly weak.
All Americans, Republican, Democrats, Libertarian, you name it, should be very concerned with those kind of statements. We are the greatest nation in the world. We need to make sure our leaders are up to the challenge of leading this nation. Joe Biden is not. That's why Donald Trump will beat him and will be elected the 47th president of the United States.
Final seconds here, Congressman, and such a pleasure to talk to you. What's Hunter Biden's fate if Daddy isn't in the White House again?
Well, we know, based on the IRS whistleblowers, that Hunter Biden and the Biden family has profited millions of dollars by selling the brand, and the brand is Joe Biden. If Joe Biden's not in the White House, his business prospects look a whole lot worse. So I would say that he's advising his father to stay in that office so his business prospects still thrive.
Well, we really appreciate you jumping on today. A lot of developments here on the race. Congressman Jason Smith, the chairman of the very important House Ways and Means Committee. Good to have you in with us today.
Always great to be with you.